Hello and welcome to Unikron's Gaming. This video is all about my thoughts after completing Shinobi Art of Vengeance. So this is my experience based on the PS5 version. Specifically, I'm playing this on a PS5 Pro. I tried to complete as much of the game as possible. I didn't get every trophy, but I've managed to do 100% on, I believe, every stage, and I've unlocked everything that's basically in the game, as you can see here. So let's get to it. I'm going to split my thoughts up into two parts, objectively and subjectively. So first up is objectively. I think the first question that we should ask is this a Shinobi for you? Is this a modern interpretation of Shinobi? I would say yes. And what is a quote-unquote typical Shinobi game? Well, to answer that, I'd say there isn't an actual answer. You've had what, arcade style, which I would say which the original Shinobi, Shadow Dancer, and then Mega Drive Shadow Dancer. And then you've got like home style, which would encompass basically everything else. So that would be Revenge of Shinobi, Shinobi 3, GG Shinobi 1 and 2, those are the Game Gear versions. The Master System Shinobi, there was three Shinobi games on the Master System actually. One was a terrible port of Shadow Dancer. The Saturn Shinobi, the Nintendo DS Shinobi, and the two Shinobi games that were on the PlayStation 2. So just depending on where you are, is this Shinobi? But this obviously is more of like a follow-up to Shinobi 3 in the current era. That's what I would say. So yes, it's definitely a Shinobi game, not just because Joe is in there. Visuals and audio are great all around. I spoke about them a lot more when I played the demo of Shinobi Art of Vengeance. But yeah, it's just fantastic. The quality goes up. I actually do like the audio, from sound effects to the music, T-Lopes, anybody else that's involved in it. I thought the music was great, personally. I know I saw online there was a few comments people didn't like it. But sound effects are great as well. Visually, got just no complaints at all. I will say at certain points of the gameplay, depending on the color choice that you choose for Joe, you can lose sight of him when the action gets hectic and the game zooms out quite far. So depending on what color you got, sometimes you can lose track of him. So just be mindful of that. Also, the challenge levels. I found them rage-inducing. Obviously, they are challenge levels and they're there for the most part to be a challenge. That's the whole point. I did manage to do them all, but I have to say, sorry, let me just look at my notes here. It did leave me cursing like an old sailor. I was fuming with a lot of it. So yeah, unfortunately for me, I could have punched someone in the face. I almost broke my controller at points as well. It was rage inducing. There was a lot of rage. I did put quite a bit of time into playing this. For me, I played the game later than most people because I was away when it came out and I didn't have a chance to play it. I put around about, it says 22 hours. It didn't feel like 22 hours, but hey, apparently it was, according to my PlayStation 5. You know, sometimes the in-game clock can be a bit funny, but I'm just going to go with the 22 hours. It felt more like 15 to me, but hey, if it says 22, it's 22. I'm not too sure how you guys felt, but the Nimpo weapons, and I'm going to call them smaller magics, because that's how I saw them as. You need your green bar, and you can obviously get more of the green bars to fill them up to use your Nimpos, and attach, was it medals, coins, medallions, whatever the hell those things are called, to them to give them extra boost as well. I didn't use them that much till about halfway through the game, because for the longest time I had 1 or 2 green bars, and when I wanted to use them, the bars weren't full. But as I got like 3 and 4 and eventually 5, I used them a lot more. but I had to be mindful to use them because I just forgot. So yeah, I don't know why, but that was just me. That's one of the quirks of me playing the game. Now, as for the big boy magic, what they call the ninjutsus, yeah. I think there's 4 of them. Now these are more useful to me, but I only ever used 2 of them. Obviously, the first one, you get the dragon one and the health one. I used the health one when I was doing some of the challenge sections, simply so that I didn't have to restart them. I could just get some extra life back. And in some of the harder sections as well, before I got to a checkpoint, that's where I used them. I didn't use the shield at all, or the full screen explosions. Those 2 didn't really interest me. I would have liked others, but they basically stuck to, you know, the template of Revenge of Shinobi and Shinobi 3, unfortunately. I don't think the health one was in Revenge of Shinobi or Shinobi 3, but the other 3 were in some sort of fashion. So yeah, it's just a shame that we didn't get more new ninjutsus, but the ones that were there, like I said, I used 2 of them a lot. The other 2 not really, especially the big explosion, because by the time I got that, I was set in the ways that I was going to play the game. So yeah, it didn't really suit me. I mean, I don't know because I didn't try it, but I didn't see the point in me destroying everything on screen and then only having a small amount of health left, and then I don't have magic again. Nah, that just didn't suit the way I played. Didn't suit the way I played. Realistically, Joe really has one melee weapon, the katana. The first, I think, or the second major trailer made it look like he would be able to use more weapons, but they're more to help him in his, you know, just to traverse the level, to be honest, like the hook and stuff like that. And the little parachute thing, you know, like what Aladdin's got on the Mega Drive version. Has he got it on the SNES as well? I don't know. But anyway, yeah. And obviously kunais. Yeah. The sword melee combat is truly the star here. Its design is excellent, and it's executed to literal perfection in my mind. I love the combat and the structure of the combat. It just made sense. Obviously, these guys know how to do melee combat because of Streets of Rage 4. And this is, I would say, is up there with my favorite 2D combat in, oddly enough, a Metroidvania game, which is Guacamelee 2. And to some extent, Super Turbo Champion Edition for Guacamelee. But this, the combat is just, is that chef's kiss. It's sublime. It really is. And I think that's also to do with the smooth animation and the way he just doesn't really stop. There's no real breaks in there. It's smooth and it's fluid. The artistry, the animation, he's got weight to the attacks. And you can see the weight with the light and heavies and the way it just animates as well. Sometimes the hit spark attacks are a bit too big. I will say that. You can't quite see. And when I got the Dark Katana, there was no going back to the normal one. It just looked even better. Even though it was only, what, 1 point, whatever, times stronger. But yeah, everything had weight to it. The combat is just great. Now, if you don't care for the combat, oof, I don't know what to say. This game may not be for you because realistically, so apart from the platforming, but the platforming is secondary to the combat. It's all about the combat in the game. So yeah, you may not like it, but to me, because the combat is so good, this game is just an excellent game. Objectively speaking, it just is. So yeah, it was definitely what I wanted from the combat. They got rid of that stupid double jump that he's got in Revenge of Shinobi and Shinobi 3. You don't have to do it at the pinnacle, you can just do it at any point. The dash, the invincibility frames for the roll, charge moves, the animation for them, the weight to them, everything. Kunai, we'll get onto that in my other section. But as it stands, yes, combat is great. I just wish sometimes it didn't zoom out as much. Just as much. I preferred it when it zoomed in. It just made it look even more graphic. Yeah, I just love it. Very anime, or even it looks like a comic. Yeah, it's just great. It's just, yeah, I can't say anything more about the combat because to me there was nothing wrong with the sword play. All right, on to the next section then. Okay, so with all that being said, subjectively now, I reckon this game played it way too safe. If you're going to go for the home style in this day and age, I just think they could have done a lot more with the game. What is there is objectively good. There's no two ways about it, but subjectively, they could have gone so much deeper. And let me just give you an example of what I'm personally talking about, what I would have wanted. Obviously, this is what I would have wanted, not what's in the game. So this doesn't make the game bad, but this is how I think the game could have been even more deeper. I personally don't think, for the home style Shinobi games, that, I don't know, Shinobi 3 is the best version. I know people think Shinobi 3, what's it called, Revenge of the Ninja Master or something like that, on the Mega Drive from 1993. People think that's the pinnacle. I personally think GG Shinobi 2 is a deeper game, simply because you have more ninjas and they have different weapons and they have different attributes. Some can walk on water so they can't drown, and they all have different magic systems, and you can't get to all of the level without rescuing those ninjas and using them to do certain parts of a level. I think that should have been introduced here, simply because you've got different colors for Joe's suit, but they don't do anything. It's just for aesthetics. They should have gone to GG Shinobi. For example, this is just an example. I'll write down some notes here. The yellow suit should have been taken. They should use something like GG Shinobi. So instead of a yellow suit for Joe, it should have been a yellow ninja. Now this yellow ninja should have had, you know what Joe's got, which is the chain and harpoon thing for grappling. He should have had that just as a weapon, the yellow ninja, bit like Scorpion. So you send it out, bring enemies towards you, then use the intricate melee system that's in the game that's brilliant, and do combos and all the other stuff and what have you. If the enemies are big or got shields or they're big brutes, then you move towards them because you can't pull them towards you. Then you can do your combo systems and yada 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 and go from there. After that yellow ninja, when he's doing combos, supposing he goes higher than 4 hits. Now because he's yellow, he should have damage over time. I don't know, fire for example, because he's yellow. So the enemy is set on fire. It doesn't have to be much, but as the game goes along, you can get stuff to improve the damage over time by percentage. So they burn when he does over 4 hit combo. And if you get hit, you lose it and you have to get it again. So, you know, just stuff like that. For another example, the blue ninja outfit. It should be the blue ninja, you know, once again, GG Shinobi style. The blue ninja, his main weapon should be size, you know, like what Raphael from the Ninja Turtle has. He should be able to, for example, his hit stun should last longer than Joe's, so therefore the enemies stay stunned longer, so he can do a lot more damage and get in there with more combos and stuff. But that ninja is slower and not as agile as Joe's, hence why you need the longer hit stun. And obviously he has different combos and stuff like that, you know, just to make it deeper. And then they'll have different magic systems as well, so they can reach places that Joe can't. And sometimes, say for example you're the blue ninja, and because he's bigger, he can't reach places that Joe can. So yeah, remix the stages in arcade mode so that these ninjas, it makes sense for them. Last thing, have a grey ninja, a grey suit, and that is more of a homage to Shadow Dancer, the Mega Drive version. So the grey ninja always has a dog with him. He's got dual swords or dual katanas, as best as he can be as a dog with him at all times. He can do combos with the dog as well, so the dog is part of his attacks. A bit like, what was that game? Not Gris, a game that I reviewed. I'm gonna have to get the name of it now because I can't remember. God damn it! Was it Neva or Never? Yeah, that game which the girl uses the wolf. Yeah, have combos and stuff like that in there. and or have a mixture similar to what Galford can do in Samurai Shodown games. You know, go puppy! Yeah, have a mixture of that. So that's what I would have liked to see for a deeper combat system. And once again, those ninjas have different ninja magic, and you need them to get to parts of the game that Joe can't reach. Make it a proper Metroidvania if you're gonna go this route. Because let's face it, this game has those elements. They're not deep. You don't have to go back, you can do. But realistically, this is where the game's heading. So just fully embrace it if you're not going to go the arcade route. That's all I'm saying. Okay, some other things I thought were strange. It didn't hurt the game, but once again, this is me being subjective. There's no peek feature, and what I mean by that is using the right analog stick just to move the screen forward a bit so you could see what was coming next. Or if you're on a ledge crouching, and then after a second or two the screen moves down a bit so you can see, you know, like in Sonic you can just hold down or hold up and the screen moves up or down. In newer games you can do it for left or right as well. You can just use the right analog stick just to move the screen around a bit more so you can see a little bit more of what's coming. There was none of that, so you couldn't move the screen on, left or right, or down or up. I thought that was a bit odd, because that's a standard for these type of games now, and the fact that they didn't have it, I don't know, it was just strange to me. Maybe not to you guys, but to me. Activating your ninjutsu is way too convoluted. For me, the way I had my button set up, I had to hold down R1, R2, then press a different button. The game slows down a little bit, you can still get hit while it happens. Get the hell out of here, man. Come on, this Lizard Cube, there's got to be a better way. Even in the Mega Drive versions, you had to pause it and select which one you want. But if it's over the one you want, it's just one button press. Now it's just, no, come on now. We've got how many buttons on these controllers? And I still have to do button gymnastics. No. Did not like that. Did not like that at all. No. Naughty Lizard Cube, naughty. Yeah, I know this sounds like I'm nitpicking, but these are the things that just, little things that annoyed me because the package was so good. The bonus stages, when you're on the wolf or the husky, whatever, and the jet ski, at times I had more kunais than what it artificially gives you, but it just makes you have 10 and you have to collect them. What? Why? I don't care for challenge and stuff like that. I had more than 10 kunais by the time I got to the jet ski stage, but it made me use 10. Just no, didn't like that either. It was ridiculous. Just didn't like it. Oh, and since we're talking about kunais, they got a massive downgrade. They got nerfed. It just almost ignored. In Revenge of Shinobi and Shinobi 3, you collect them. A box can give you 10 or 15 or whatever. Or even, is it 20? I don't know. But here, you start off with, is it 5? And I think the maximum I got was 40. And they're not even that powerful. And to get them to be strong, what is it? You have to use 2. So if you want it to go through an enemy, 1 is the cost of 2. And if you want it to have an explosion, 1 is the cost of 5. What the hell? What happened to the power boxes in the other Shinobi games where then your shurikens or kunais became much more powerful and they were almost one-hitting enemies, and if you got hit you lost that power? What happened to those boxes? They just said, nah, we don't like that, we're not having it. No, that was a big part of all Shinobi games, no matter what type they were. I didn't like the relegation of the kunais, stroke ninja stars. They were relegated to meh projectiles. No, naughty. To be honest, I've only got one more nitpick, and it's so small it doesn't even worth mentioning. But hey, since I'm here and I've got space left, it's the story mode. They're all voice acted, which some people may not like it, may think it's cringe. Fine, there's arcade mode for that, even though it's not really arcade mode. It just cuts out the voice acting and the story bits. Cool. But if you're gonna do a story mode, I know this guy has never spoken before, but neither did Sonic, and they gave him a voice. I don't understand why all he does, apart from the very last bit where he actually says one word, why he just grunts. All he does is my my guy, come on. Everybody else doesn't matter what the situation, he just, At first, okay, cool, stoic, cool. But after that, it's like, nah, come on, mate. All these mad things are happening. Your whole clan, man attacks your wife. She's pregnant. And it's messed up your dog and everything. And you're just, with an exclamation mark. The last time I saw anything like that was, for whatever reason, the Western version of Akuma when he first appeared. He didn't say anything after he won in Super Turbo or X-Men Children of the Atom. But in the Japanese versions he did. But obviously I couldn't read kanji, so I don't know what he said. But yeah, it's just like, come on, man. Say something. My guy. I get it. It's stoic. He's a ninja. A ninja should be silent. But if people are talking to him and doing stuff like this, and his student, which calls him sensei, is talking to him, everyone's talking to him, but he just doesn't say nothing, it just comes across as odd in the story. So yeah, it's not a big thing, but I just thought it was just, odd. So that's my thoughts after completing Shinobi R Vengeance. Objectively, it's a bloody excellent game. Subjectively, I had a few qualms for this type of game and the route that they chose. And I just thought, once again, they played it a bit safe. They should have gone a bit more deeper. But anyway, after this, I've just got a couple of challenging stages for you that I managed to do. And I've got my recordings in real time for you. Anyway, I'm out. Hope you all are well. I'll see you in the next video. And keep watching for the bonus stages. And peace out. Bonus round. All right. Oh. Wait, why did I do that? Why did I do that? I just could have stayed on it. For God's sake. There's no need for that. Whew. Oh fudge, I messed up. Right. What's over here? Gotcha, bitch. Suck a dick. Suck a fat dick. Alright, come on. How many times I failed this bloody thing? Got to the end, pressed the wrong button, I just got excited, dropped the controller. Just need to concentrate. I've got to go and pick up one of my kids in a second. Ain't got long. Got the adrenaline pumpy music. Music's exciting though. Woo! Almost slipped off there. To just adjust myself there. And there again. Whoa! Don't worry. Take it easy. What we got here? Hold that, but just hold it, Get my goddamn fragment. That's right, one with Joe. Unikronn is I, and I am Unikronn. Okay, on to the next.